Thank you. Hello, everybody. Would you please rise and join me in the national anthem? In the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not singing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. My goodness, if anybody ever heard me sing the national anthem, they surely wouldn't mistake me for Isabella, that's for sure, that sang. We'll move on to roll call. Madam Secretary.
Mike Alfieri.
Here.
Sonia Brajic. I think she's here on speaker,
She's
is she
on.
not?
She's here.
Jennifer Bretz.
Here.
Diane Sabatoni.
Here.
Vince DiAugustine.
Here.
Jeannie Smith.
Here.
Paul Ward.
Here.
Scott Learn.
Here.
Tony Bompiani.
Here.
All present.
And mission statement. Are our student representatives not here today? Not present? Dr. Walicki, would you mind giving that? Please. Thank you. Before we get to the superintendent's report, I would like to just let the public know that normally we don't have motions on for this evening, but we're going to be putting two motions on. One for our opening plan under the school board report, and we'll be suspending the rules as well to get help by moving a high school principal to central administration. I don't think anybody anywhere would think that these people didn't need the help. They've been working short for 2 months. And with all the extra work they've done for this opening plan, which has been marvelous, we need to get them some help. So we're going to be suspending the rules. The reason I bring this up is it is not on the agenda. And if you have any questions, if you want to email them specifically to our secretary or Dr. Walicki, your questions will be read at the time of the motion, and we'll take that into consideration if you'd like. We'll move on to superintendent's report. Dr. Walicki.
Dr. Bompiani first. Provide some updates. First is in regards to our town hall meeting. Following the presentation last Monday by Dr. we did have a survey available and had over 400 questions submitted during the week following her presentation. A lot of the questions were very worked to provide responses possible on Friday through a town hall meeting. So I would like to make that our recorded response on the main page heading for the town hall meeting. And the meeting did last over 2 hours, but in order to make it more accommodating for our parents, we chose to record in segments. And those segments are according to the categories of the survey. So please, if you have questions, take a look at our district website and look for the town hall meeting on the main page, and then you will see, I believe, 9 or 10 different headings, and it's very likely that the questions that you have will have already been answered. We're also going to be creating a frequently asked question document that will be putting a lot of that information in written form as well. Dr. Connor, are you okay hearing me?
They're having a little bit of difficulty hearing you.
Okay. Do you want to take the next part?
Why don't I, if that's okay?
Okay, sure, thank you.
So for the next part of our superintendent's report, we just received guidance this afternoon from the Pennsylvania Department of Education entitled Determining Instructional Models During COVID-19 Pandemic. And we wanted to share this information with the public because obviously it's very recent, up to date with our school reopening plans and for the vote tonight. But it really lends credence to the plan, the foresight, and the amount of effort I believe that the team put together to create our plan. And we put the link here for the public to go and navigate to. But if you scroll down, it indicates some data points as to the incidence rate and the transmission level in the county, and really the recommended instructional model for that level. And currently, where Westmoreland County is, our plan is right in line. So we're very happy that all the effort and work that we put into place isn't out of whack, and otherwise we'd obviously be scrambling right now. But I think it also helps shed a little bit of light in how we'll be determining our movement from one phase to another. I know that is a very, very big question of how long phase one will be versus phase two. So it'll really be based on these data points. There will be a dashboard that the district will be monitoring on a daily basis, and it will tell us the community level, incidence rate level, and really where we can move our instructional model at that point, which will help us determine going from phase one to phase two. So I think that was a big point that we wanted to talk through and make sure that we explain tonight. Then finally, and I know you're probably sick of hearing me talk about our cyber school update. This will be the third one that I've given for the school board. But at this time, we've had several information sessions for parents, and based on everything, our current enrollment numbers as of this morning, we'll have quite a large number of students K through 5 in our elementary cyber program. We're up to 314 students. So all of our parents were offered information sessions. They indicated to us their interest through a pre-registration form. They were contacted by building administrators and myself and our cyber teacher, Mrs. Pollock. And then we followed up with a commitment form. And these numbers are based on parents' commitment to the district for the elementary cyber program, which it is a 9-week commitment. At this point, moving forward, the Human Resource Department, myself, Dr. Willicke, we're looking at staffing, repurposing teachers from our brick and mortar schools where enrollment allows us to make sure that we have enough staff in both brick and mortar and cyber program, because we obviously want both programs to be successful. So very excited about the challenge and opportunity ahead to make sure that our students are being educated at Hempfield Area School District and receiving a quality program, whether they're with us in person or with us virtually. And I believe that concludes the superintendent's report for tonight.
Dr. Willicke, do you have anything to add to that report?
Can you repeat that, Tammy?
Yes, I think you have to go over the town hall meeting, just to be sure everyone heard.
Yeah, sure. So going back for the superintendent's report for the town hall update, as there is a concern that Dr. Willicke wasn't coming through clearly during that portion of the report. Our our town hall update occurred on Friday. It lasted about 2.5 hours. We received over 400 questions. We had administrators from athletics, from our custodial manager, high school administration, elementary administration, pupil services, all there on the calls, including many of our board members, and we tried to get through as many questions as possible to help address those concerns. We did record each of those sessions. We divided them up per topic so they're easier to digest. Unless you're a glutton for punishment, you can watch the whole live stream, I'm sure. But they are posted on our district website. So you can find that information very readily on the news section. And that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Connor and Dr. Walicki, for a fine report. Before I get into our executive session notation, there was a question at the town hall meeting that had to do with cyber school and the cost of cyber school. And during the town hall meeting, the answer given by Dr. Connor was related to the cost of attending our cyber school. When I was listening to the question, I thought maybe it was a little bit vague, that maybe they were asking what's the cost if someone goes to another cyber school. So I'd asked that afternoon if it would be appropriate just to wait and do it tonight, because that wasn't part of what their answers were. And that's what we decided to do at the time. So I'm going to ask Wayne Wismar, our business manager, to go through the cost of cyber school and what it cost last year, and hopefully that'll answer the question.
And this is for students attending outside of the Hempfield Area School District. For a regular education student, it's approximately $11,000 per year. For a student that has learning support, it would be about double that, so around $22,000. What we have been spending in recent years is approaching $2.3 million per year for outside cyber schools. We don't have any brick and mortar schools that our students attend. This is exclusive to outside cyber.
Any board comment with that? Okay, hearing none, I wanted to announce that we were in executive session after our last meeting last Monday, on Monday, August 3rd, 2020. We met in executive session after the meeting from 8:40 p.m. until 9:02 p.m. to discuss a contract issue and receive legal advice. There was no return to the meeting and vote taken afterward. Then this evening, we met from 5:30 to 6:50 on legal, personnel, and informational items. So we'll move on to hearing of citizens. Pam, anything?
No, I didn't receive any today.
Okay. And student reps are not present. Solicitor's report, anything? Mr. Brungo?
What was that, Mike? Try it one more time. Go ahead, try it now. And there's nothing to report.
That was dramatic, Mr. Brungo. We'll move on to board secretary's report.
I have nothing to report.
All righty, and for the pre-agenda meeting, we'll move into the pre-agenda now, and we'll go to buildings and grounds with Paul Ward. That doesn't,
Nothing to report,
okay.
or no motions this week.
And educational programs, Jeannie?
Next week, we will be asked to vote on E3320, which deals with the professional service agreement between Hempfield and St. Vincent College Prevention Projects for the 2021 school year, and E3420, which will be an agreement between Hempfield and Marikey, Pennsylvania, for the 2021 school year.
Anything else?
No, I would ask what Marikey, Pennsylvania is.
I can't recall Marikey's former name, but
NHS.
NHS was a former school, and it got
Oh, okay.
change in ownership.
Answer your question.
Thank you. And that concludes my report.
Any board questions with any of that? Okay, thank you, doctors. Thank you, Jeannie. Move on to Personnel Committee. Diane Cipottone.
Thank you. There are a number of motions on for next week. They include leave of absence, hiring of food service people, hiring of therapists through Campco, a school police, one full-time is going to part-time, and one part-time is going to full-time, and approving graduate fellows from St. Vincent to provide day-to-day sub-teachers or subs, employ individuals through Cloudcast. We're employing bus drivers and monitors, and employing individuals through the DePaul School, which is the school for the blind, and appointing school district dentists.
Okay.
That's it.
All righty. Do you want to make a motion to suspend the rules, please?
Yes. Yes. I make a motion that we suspend the rules.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mike, second. Mike Alfieri, seconded.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Rules are suspended. Diane?
Thank you. I move that we approve P 11620, that approval be given to move Mr. Greg Saraceni from high school assistant principal to the position of assistant to the superintendent in central administration, effective August 11th, 2020 through tentatively October 2nd, 2020. His daily rate of pay will be increased $50 per day while serving in this position.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Vince, or by Paul?
It was Paul, yes.
Okay, sorry. Well, I'm going around. It all comes from the same microphone.
I
or
understood.
the same speaker. Board questions, board comments?
Could someone explain why this is so important? If Dr. Willicke or Dr. Connor would like to, or Bob Rigger?
Sure. I'll take it first. This is due to, we did hire an assistant superintendent for elementary, Dr. Riefanak, last board meeting. Regrettably, we contacted her superintendent, and they are going to hold Dr. Riefanak until October 2nd. With everything going on with the plan and the opening of school and everything going on in central administration, we are respectfully requesting the consideration for this motion this evening just to provide some assistance to the current staff at that location.
Anything to add, Dr. Connor?
Nope.
Board comments? Jeannie?
I had a comment. I was
Jean,
fortunate.
Dr. Jeannie Smith?
Thank you. I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the town hall meeting on Friday, and I was very impressed with how it was handled and how many questions were answered. And I also liked that you did put them into categories and save them that way to allow parents to more easily access that area in which they might want more information. And I know that this and other things that you and the administrative team at the area office have been working on since May have really taxed everybody, and they've been putting in additional hours, and we're getting very close to school. So I know you need this additional help, and I'm very supportive of it, and I'd like to thank everybody who's been putting in the extra time and effort and commend all of you for the great job that you have been doing.
Thank you very much. I can say that on behalf of the central administration. We have a great team, and we appreciate the support.
Good. Other board comments or questions?
I just want to, this is Mike Alfieri. I just wanted to point out that we don't like to suspend the rules at any time because it sometimes can be perceived as we're hiding something, but this is something that we decided to do tonight to get the administration immediate support, which I think everyone can agree is much needed as our target moves literally every day. So just so anyone out there listening, it isn't a prize to what we do in these executive sessions. We suspended the rules this evening for that purpose.
Other board comments or questions? All right. Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. That it, Diane?
Thank you.
That's all you have?
Yes, that's all I have.
Thank you. We'll move on now to athletics. Vince?
I have no motions for next week. We will have an athletic committee meeting Wednesday, August 12th, 2020 at 5:30 in the library. I think we'll...
So Vince, I'm under the understanding, I brought it up last Monday, and I talked to Tammy and Brandon tonight. I'm under the thought process here that we are going to be revisiting this quarantine for the athletes and coaches, and hopefully discuss making it more consistent with what we're doing with school.
Correct. Yes, we will definitely be discussing that on the 12th.
which is
Wednesday.
the 12th. Okay, that's this Wednesday, right?
Correct. Yes,
And so therefore, there could be a motion then for Monday.
the 17th. Yeah,
change
that's
it.
why we're meeting. I think we talked about maybe delaying the meeting till before the 24th, because I know that's when the PIAA did the guidance, or said that they were going to delay the start until. So instead of doing that, we wanted to continue to meet on the 12th so that we can discuss that issue among a couple more.
Okay, and if I might, I mean, and I want to thank all the board members, the staff, the letter that was put together. Paul, you at first with putting that out, and then Tammy and Brandon, what you added to it. And I think the letter showed support to our students, to our parents, and other people. And I'm speaking to the letter, open letter to the governor and the PIAA. I don't want the public to misconstrue that we're trying to push sports over everything else, and we think sports is more important than a pandemic that's out there. We care about our children, we care about our parents, we care about our staff. We're doing this to support our children, our parents, and our staff. And if you read the letter closely, we're doing this in the right way, and that is following the guidelines that's out there. We're in constant communication with our people, the doctors, the experts in this area through Excella Health, and thank you to Excella. Thank you for Eric Nelson for putting that bridge for us to be speaking with them too on such a short notice. We are putting this time in, the athletic committee, the rest of the board, and for sure the staff. So I want to thank everybody that was involved in that letter, that read it, put their thought process in it, and we got it out there. And we need to continue fighting for our children to return to normal as much as we can in a safe manner. And that's what we're planning on doing. And I feel personally that this thing with the quarantine is the same type of thing that we need to look at.
I agree.
So I appreciate all of you for
I
that.
think, Tony, if I
Vince.
can, real quick, I think obviously the letter was fantastic, well-written. But I think it showed confidence that we have in two areas. One was Tammy and her team putting together the reopening plan, and also Brandon and Bob's plan to return to sports. And I think that, the plan is only as good as the people that are going to implement it. So I think it showed that we have confidence in other people as well, the teachers, the janitors, the maintenance, the nurses, all those that are involved in the reopening plan, and the coaches, the athletic directors, the trainers for the return to play. So I think it's important that we have confidence in all those people to get these plans done, because everybody can write a plan, but implementing it and doing it the right way. I think this board and the administration showed a lot of confidence by writing that letter in those people as well.
That's very, very well said, Vince. Any other comments from board members? Anything else from the athletic committee, Brandon? Okay. Thank you, Vince. And we'll move on to supplemental contracts. Sonia, if it's okay with you, since you're on virtually, I'd like to pass this on to Paul, where there'll be less feedback. Is that all right with you, Sonia? Yes. Okay.
Take that
Paul,
easy.
Paul Ward, please.
Okay, so next week we'll be putting forward motions for a long list of supplemental contract approvals for administrative positions, or administrative support, band positions, chair, a lot of chair people, world languages, student council, and others. That's one of the categories, so a lot of supplemental contracts, and then some athletic supplementals. Basically, there are a few coaches that would be approved, and then a list of volunteer coaches as well. So that'll be on for next approval next week.
Okay.
And that's it.
Thank you, Paul. We'll move on to Finance Committee, and for the same reason, Diane Cibatoni, would you take this?
I certainly will. Next week, we will have the motions to report. I'm sorry, I didn't read this one as well as I read mine. The depository report from the First National, and next week we will have a dollar figure in there, and the tax collector's report, the bills payable, due and payable, the activity fund statement, a contract between Trit Shell Consulting and Hempfield Area School District. We'll be approving the athletic department request for the business office to advertise for winter sports, and the proposed tax assessment appeal, and two tax assessment bills. We'll be approving that next week.
Thank you, Diane. We'll move on to Policy Committee. Jeannie?
I have no policies that we will be voting on next week, but we do have a meeting scheduled to go over the changes that maybe have been made to a few of our policies by the PDE based on law and also as recommended by the School Board Association. And these are the ones that have just, because the laws have changed or terminology has changed in some of the policies, we need to make those changes and see if there are any that need to be made. So that meeting is set for August 13th at 10 a.m.
Okay.
That concludes my report.
Thanks, Jeannie. Move on to Technology Committee. Scott?
We have nothing for Technology Committee.
And Central Westmoreland Career and Technology Center?
Yeah, I do have a meeting Wednesday night. We're going to be going over the final plans for opening the CWCTC, and I'll have a lot more to offer as far as information next week. And I'll probably ask if I can give a report just on, I know a lot of people have questions on the open, how's it going to work? How's the CTC going to work with 9 different districts sending students in different ways? So I want to be able to clarify as much as I can about that.
I think that's very wise. And next week, I told you I'm going to be away, but I will be on virtually, so I'd like you to run the meeting too. And I'm sure Tammy will put on whatever you need on the agenda to give you a report.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to, is that it then, Scott? We'll move on to Westmoreland Intermediate Unit. Jennifer?
Unfortunately, we did not have a quorum for our July meeting, and it was canceled. And our next meeting is Tuesday, August 25th at 7 p.m.
Okay, thank you. And School Board report. Scott, would you mind taking this? And we will have to suspend the rules with these since we're not usually a voting meeting tonight, even though they're on the agenda.
Correct. Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
There's a second. Diane, second. And Scott made the motion.
Okay.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Okay. We doing all 3?
Please.
Okay. I'd like to put forth motion SB 0820, 08 or 0920, and 1020.
Would you mind reading those, Scott, just because? What's that?
Okay.
Wait.
Hold on
wait,
one
hold
second,
a
Scott.
Only the first, I believe.
09 is not ready. We are still working on that. That's why there's no attachment tonight.
There's been no second. Scott, why don't you just make the motion for 08 and 010 separate, and then you can,
Okay.
we'll put that, then that 09 will be on for Monday, correct?
Hopefully,
Right.
yes.
Just do them both separate, Scott. There's
Okay.
no confusion.
Let's start with the motion for 0820.
And you want to read that?
That is that the attached Hempfield Area School District Health and Safety Plan be approved.
Is there a second? Vince DiAugustine, second. Any questions or comments from board members?
The only thing I think we should clarify, it says health and safety plan, but that's the reopening plan, right? So I think that's important to a lot of people. That word might catch people's attention more, that we're actually approving the reopening plan.
Okay. Do you have any comments, Dr. Connor?
No, you're absolutely correct. It's
Anything else from other board members? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Okay. Second is a motion SB 1020 that the emergency instructional time provision be approved in accordance with section 520.1 of the school code to provide the Hempfield Area School District flexibility in attributing virtual instruction as part of the 180-day requirement for the 2020-2021 school year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jennifer Bretz. Any comments from the administration on this?
No, this is based on our school reopening plan, as Mr. Ward explained, and with the AB model and ensuring that we are hitting the 900 and 990 threshold number of instructional hours that we need at both elementary and secondary level, which if you open up the attachment, the calculation shows that clearly that we are.
Okay, any board questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Then next week, we'll be putting forth SBO 920 for approval, that the memorandum of understanding between the Hempfield Area School District and the Hempfield Area Education Association be approved.
Okay, thank you, Scott. We'll go on to reports. Diane, anything on school safety?
No, not yet.
Workman comp, there's nothing on workman's comp, Bob? No. Okay. Drug awareness, Jennifer, Vince, Mike?
There's nothing new to report.
PSBA Foundation funds in Greensburg, Hempfield Library, Jeannie.
I have nothing to report under PSBA legislation policy. This week, I will have some information next week. I have no new news under Foundation Funds Committee. And the Greensburg Hempfield Area Library did reopen, and things are going very well. They're still doing curbside delivery for books and continuing that, even though people are also able to now come into the library 3 days a week. And I believe that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Diane?
No, they're able to come in every day.
Every day now?
Every day, 4 hours each day, and curbside is alternate hours.
That concludes my report.
Thanks, Jeannie. Any hearing of the citizens?
No.
None. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I motion to adjourn.
Mike Alfieri made the motion,
I'll second it.
seconded by Diane Civittoni. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.